The lights dim across the arena, and a hush drapes itself over the crowd like a veil of anticipation, the kind that settles before two masters of the craft step into the ring to redefine their legacy under the glare of destiny. In one corner stands Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire, a man who has walked through 4 divisions of world titles, a technician forged by experience and emboldened by the years that have shaped him into a legend of the lighter weights. The cameras slide across his face, catching the calm storm within his eyes, a veteran's poise blended with the fire of a man who still knows how to shock the world with a single counter left hook. In the opposite corner stands Carl the Jackal Frampton, Northern Ireland's fighting pride, a man whose every step toward the center of the ring draws roars of devotion from fans who have followed him from Belfast to world stages beyond. Tonight, he enters not just to win, but to prove that even against a future Hall of Famer, he remains a tactician sharp enough to carve through the danger that Donaire still wields. The opening bell nears and the arena air trembles, the electricity crackling as the fighters touch gloves. It is not hostility that binds them in this moment, but respect, deep, mutual, unwavering respect. Each man understanding the magnitude of the challenge before him. The referee's final instructions fade behind the rising thunder from the crowd. Then the bell rings, slicing through the tension, and both fighters slip into motion with the smoothness of seasoned warriors who have spent lifetimes perfecting their craft. Every feint, every step, every twitch of muscle speaks of intention as the story of their battle begins to unfold. From the opening exchanges, the fight takes on a measured rhythm, a careful probing of range and timing that echoes the mutual respect each man carries for the other's power. Donaire stands taller, shoulders rolling, as he flicks his jab with deceptive patience, testing the guard of Frampton, marking distance with every inch of the ring he surveys. Frampton responds with sharp footwork, shifting angles, presenting glimpses of openings before darting out of range, turning defense into opportunity with every subtle pivot. The crowd leans forward with every crisp body shot traded, every clean left hook that finds its way between elbows, each man studying the other's reactions like scholars unraveling the pages of a familiar but dangerous book. The early rounds could be mistaken for chess rather than combat, yet beneath the calm lies an undercurrent of explosive threat. Donaire's left hook twitches with the coiled energy of a spring ready to snap, while Frampton's precise combinations paint quick flashes of danger along Donaire's ribs. The exchanges intensify in small bursts, moments where Donaire anchors his feet and lets power flow through him, only for Frampton to answer with a counter rhythm that earns nods from the commentators and cheers from the crowd. It is a duel of poise, timing, and calculation. Each man respects the other's danger, but neither is willing to give ground. The end of the early rounds closes with the judges' likely split, each sequence telling a different story depending on the angle it was seen from. But what remains unquestionable is that both warriors have locked into their flow, their instincts sharpening, their movements becoming smoother and quicker as the battle grows deeper. The fight is still young, but already it simmers with the promise of something unforgettable. As the middle rounds arrive, the tone shifts from patience to assertion. Carl Frampton begins to dictate the rhythm with a new level of confidence, finding his jab with a precision that snaps Donaire's head back just enough to steal the momentum of each exchange. He steps in behind double jabs, his shoulders rolling as he slips the counters that follow, crowding Donaire before quickly sliding out at an angle that leaves the Filipino Flash punching at shadows. The Irishman's timing sharpens, his combinations stitching together clean soaring moments. Left hooks to the body, fast right hands upstairs, sudden pivots that make Donaire reset again and again. But Donaire, even when edged by speed, is never harmless. He stalks forward with a veteran's calm, watching Frampton's movements, waiting for the moment when the younger man misjudges a step or leans a touch too long into range. And when it happens, when Frampton is caught just slightly square, Donaire fires the weapon the world knows him for, the left hook. It lands with a thud that ripples through the arena, not dropping Frampton, but shaking him enough to remind everyone of the danger. The crowd gasps as Frampton's legs stiffen for a moment before he resets, his face tightening with renewed focus. The tension spikes. The exchanges grow more heated. Donaire lands a right uppercut that sends sweat spiraling into the lights, only for Frampton to answer with a sharp four-punch combination that forces Donaire backward to the ropes. Traitor voices echo from the corners. Caution for Frampton, urgency for Donaire. These are no longer feel-out rounds. These are rounds where the fight threatens to change with every shot. By the end of the sixth, Frampton's accuracy and pace have likely placed him ahead on the scorecards, but the storm of Donaire's power still lurks in the margins of every movement. The arena knows one clean moment could flip everything. The seventh and eighth rounds become the knife edge of the fight, tense, tactical, and dangerously unpredictable. Frampton maintains his rhythm, darting in with combinations that keep Donaire reactive, but Donaire begins adjusting, timing the moments when Frampton steps forward with a subtleness born from years of championship nights. Every time Frampton pressures, Donaire's hands twitch, weaving between offense and countering threat, and then suddenly he catches Frampton with a monstrous uppercut that jolts the Irishman backward. The crowd erupts as Donaire follows with another, snapping Frampton's head up, the kind of shot that many fighters would crumble from. But Frampton, durable and composed, holds his ground, circling, clearing his head as the roar of the arena shakes around him. Donaire senses momentum, the scent of danger rising in his favor, and he stalks with renewed fire, firing left hooks that whistle past Frampton's guard, each one thrown with knockout intention. Yet Frampton refuses to fold. His composure returns, and with sharp discipline, he begins peppering Donaire with stiff jabs and straight rights that slow the veteran's advance. The clash of heads that momentarily stops the action brings a cut to Frampton, the blood trickling, as a visible reminder of the risks rising in these middle rounds. The referee gives Donaire a moment after the accidental clash, but when the action resumes, both men attack with the urgency of fighters who understand the turning point has arrived. Donaire hunts for the perfect left hook, the punch that has ended careers and made him a legend. Frampton fights with the intelligence of a man refusing to give the legend that opening. Round 8 ends with the arena buzzing, every fan sensing that the fight hangs in delicate balance. Frampton ahead, but Donaire dangerous. Always dangerous, one shot away from rewriting the script. The drama intensifies, the stakes rise, and the fight barrels into the championship rounds with a weight that presses on every heartbeat in the building. As the championship rounds unfold, Frampton digs into a deeper well of control, using movement, timing, and precision to sculpt the fight in his favor. His jab becomes the needle that threads every exchange, snapping Donaire's head back just enough to break the rhythm of the Filipino Flash's pressure. Frampton's footwork glides more confidently now, his shoulders turning fluidly as he dips under Donaire's power shots, rolling away before answering with sharp, clean counters that satisfy both the judges and the crowd. Donaire still searches, always searching for the moment, the opening, the lapse where Frampton's discipline falters. His left hook remains a coiled cobra waiting to strike, his right uppercut a weapon that has already proven its danger earlier in the fight. But Frampton's discipline holds firm. When Donaire cuts the distance, Frampton ties him up. When Donaire sets traps, Frampton steps around them. When Donaire plants his feet, Frampton refuses to give him the stillness he needs to land the perfect shot. The noise in the arena swells as Frampton's supporters feel the momentum shifting firmly toward their hero. Donaire lands another thudding left hook late in the 10th, snapping Frampton's head sideways. But the Irishman refuses to break, answering moments later with a crisp three-punch combination that spins Donaire off balance. It is the story of the later rounds, Donaire landing the occasional bomb, but Frampton controlling the vast majority of the exchanges with cleaner, sharper, more frequent work. The final round begins with the electricity of a moment that feels larger than the scores, larger than the belts, larger even than the fighters themselves. Frampton enters with composure, knowing that his path to victory lies in discipline, movement, and precision. Donaire enters with urgency, knowing this is his last chance to change the narrative, the moment to gamble everything on the power that has defined his greatness for more than a decade. The two warriors meet at center ring, touching gloves with a mutual respect forged through 11 rounds of shared hardship. And then they unleash what remains in their tanks. Frampton moves early, circling, doubling the jab, picking spots to land quick counters. Donaire marches forward, his eyes searching for the sliver of opportunity that might allow his left hook to thunder home one final time. He lands one, clean, powerful, the kind of shot that could swing a fight. But Frampton absorbs it, resets, and fires back with a composed flurry that pushes Donaire to the ropes. The crowd rises in a roaring wave, sensing the final chapter unfolding in real time. Donaire's expression remains determined, a warrior unwilling to fade, throwing looping hooks and sneaking uppercuts whenever Frampton is close enough for risk to meet reward. But Frampton's conditioning, accuracy, and ring generalship shine brightest in these final minutes. Every counter he lands, every angle he creates, every moment he steals adds another stitch in the fabric of his victory. As the final seconds expire, both men stand toe-to-toe, trading punches in a closing exchange that embodies the spirit of champions. No surrender, no retreat, only pride and heart. The bell rings, echoing through the arena, and the two fighters embrace, exhausted but filled with respect. When the judges read the unanimous scores, 117 to 111 all around, the crowd erupts in celebration as Carl Frampton raises his gloves in triumph. Victorious in a masterclass of skill, courage, and heart against one of the greatest to ever do it.